Okay. 134. Is and unjust law is out of harmony with moral. Hello? Hi, lady. I'm sitting here. I'm almost halfway done. I had to do my Martin Luther King paper that I never did. And I got 4 questions done, and I have 4 more to go, and I have to go. It's 1:35, and I have an appointment at 2 o'clock with my counselor lady at the college. Yeah. So I'm going to try to get this done. Bye. Love you. What did King rebut that the claim that their actions precipitated violence? What's precipitated mean? Rain? Their actions leaked violence? How did King rebut the claim that their actions weren't creating violence? Well, no shit, their actions aren't creating violence. They're trying to stand up for themselves and saying that you're hurting them, and that they have a right to have a voice, and that they're valuable people. They're not precipitating any violence whatsoever. The white man tried to focus, say, hey, look at this detail. Your detail isn't correct. People aren't perfect. They have flaws. But for you to say that somebody standing up for themselves and saying that they have value is creating violence, and they're not even doing anything violence, is wrong. There's violence happening because your people, your policemen, are being unjust towards people and saying they don't have value. That's what created chaos. If you didn't have those people doing those things and poking, they're poking to provoke. They want a reaction. They want you to be violent so they can show that that's what they were doing. And the white man was always wrong for all of it. How did King rebut the claim that there? What's the word I was looking at first? And you're saying what you should isn't this like condemning a robbed man because his possession of money precipitated the evil of act of robbery? Isn't this like condemning Socrates because his unswerving commitment to truth and his philosophy requires precipitation to act by a misguided polis in which they made him drink hemlock? Because I remember I read that Socrates drank the hemlock because he said that society needs rules to function, and by him and he wasn't, apparently he drank the hemlock to be an example that we do need rules in society that need to be followed. But Socrates should not have drank the hemlock. He was in no wrong he was right. And people, it's like saying hey, your flaws that you have. If you have flaws and you do something wrong, you have to die. But we're not going to look at ourselves and say we have flaws, but I'm just glad nobody saw them and noticed what I did that was wrong. and they're looking at you, because I'd be in trouble. I'd be doing that. I'm like right now. But I'm sitting up in the jury stand, or I'm sitting up behind the pews in the courtroom watching this man drink hemlock, because we don't want to stand up against the policeman, because we don't want people to try to kill us for what we have to say. I wish I had smaller words than this. The misguided populace in which they made isn't this like condemning Jesus because his unique God consciousness and never ceasing devotion to God's will precipitated the evil act of crucifixion? We must come to see that, as the federal courts have consistently affirmed, it is wrong to urge an individual to cease his efforts to gain his basic constitutional rights because the quest may precipitate violence. Okay, there we go. That an individual that's true. The government wants to make the individual think that he doesn't have any rights, so he won't stand up for his rights when he does have rights. He has every right, the same as everyone has every right of each other. But they don't want to stand up to the government because it's easier to not do that. It's harder to do the other thing. And when you're by yourself, like myself, and do the things I do, there's nobody telling me what to do and tell me what to think. Well, besides my mom, and besides my school teacher sometimes, and besides like random people. But other than that, I have free range, and I can stand up for myself. I'm not standing up for a group. It's easier to stand with a group of people to stand up for yourself, but I'm standing up for myself at the moment for my own rights, and I hope that other people, but in the group that I want to create is I want everyone standing up for themselves, a bunch of individuals in a big group, and saying I'm standing up for my own rights and you stand up for your rights, because we're all equal. We all have rights, and we all have a right to stand for our own right of being an individual. Just like Jesus dying on the Facebook crucifix. You know what I want to know? What they talk about when they talk about Michael Jackson's Thriller. I know it's something good. And I know it has to do with it's something uplifting and something good, but I don't know the exact definition of it, because I haven't really looked into all that. Even though, like, society made him look like a bad person, and that he was a child molester, somewhere in me believes that what he was trying to do was create a happy world for children, that he wanted to mold children through love. I just hope he wasn't a child molester kind of deal. You know what I mean? Because I don't know all the, I don't know all the facts, and I don't know all the truths, but I would hope that, my hopes are that what he was trying to do was mold the children to love, and like the song Hold My Hand. But I don't think the government liked that, so then they tried to kill him. Because he's just a human being. He's not perfect. We're not perfect. And it's hard for me to, it's hard for me to even say that, because what if he really was a child molester? You know what I mean? That's why the government says, even if it was not true, the government tries to make it look like he was, so then nobody will stand up for him, because if you stand up for him, then you stand up for a child molester, you know what I mean? But I think he had different motives. See, random things like that pop in my head when I'm trying to do homework. It's like, oh shit, I gotta go. Crucifixion. Crucifix. I got 3 more questions to do.